We're going to start the roundtable with two bits of research by independent researchers looking at their family past, and then a piece of research about a relatively unknown painter. And at the end, what we'd like to do is sort of draw out, what do we learn from this exploration of identity, and in particular for the researchers themselves, what does it mean, and is there anything that actually we can learn and draw from for the future? So, can I introduce Joseph Murat?
First of all, I want to thank the Levantine Heritage Foundation, without whom I would have known nothing about my family history, let alone where to begin. The key theme I want to address is the changing national identity. I'll do this by referring to documents I've inherited and since found out the meaning of. These are the documents. And that's what they meant to be going So when I inherited these documents, I knew practically nothing about the Murat family's Levantine story. Now I feel like a bit of a champion of the memory of Smyrna, because practically nobody knows about the story. Sure, a few know from the Bible, perhaps, as one of the 7 churches that were visited by St. Paul, but in order to get people to understand it, I find it useful to describe it as the birthplace of the Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis. People seem to know that, or Alex Isignos, the designer of the Mini and the Morris Minor, and that's normally makes them understand what I'm talking about. In fact, both of those men were, in fact, peers more or less with my grandfather, who is the boy on the right there, sitting with his family when he was about 8 years old. This is his baptismal certificate, I now know, in the Levantine village of Bornova, which is just on the outskirts of Smyrna. It says this is the seal of the Orthodox Church of the village of Bornova, and the last line highlighted here is that the citizens were Ottoman citizens. This is the church in which it was issued. Unfortunately, the only 2 pictures I could find include one which was taken soon after the ravages of 1922. Now, of course, Joseph's mother was also a Greek Orthodox citizen of Smyrna, and this is her passport. It describes her as Rum, which means Christian. I think the Ottoman administration did not distinguish between the different Christian churches. Well, certainly not on this document anyhow. But luckily for me, Christina's Greek Orthodox family heritage is very well known, and I was able to confirm that she came from a long-standing and esteemed Greek family with lineage of names going back to the Levantine dynasty, such as Caparis, Mascaris, and Magalopapathus. It says, interestingly, her address is on Divan Road, Bornovat, which is another name for Bornova. So far, so very Greek. But a closer look reveals that there's strong evidence of links with Catholic communities as well as the Orthodox communities. For example, this is the death announcement of her husband, Dr. Jean Murat, and it gives the first clue that he was a Catholic. As you can see, the cross is not a typical Orthodox cross, and also it's written in French. Also, his name is written in English, noting how intertwined the nationalities were in Smyrna and Bornova in particular. The late Alex Baltazzati of Izmir clearly explains on the Levantine Heritage Foundation website the unique situation in Bornova. He said that it was common for mixed marriages between Catholics and Orthodox. Their cemeteries were adjoining, and many of them had their family tombs placed along the border so that half the tomb was in the Greek cemetery and the other half in the Catholic one. To me, this suggests that there was no need to convert from one religion to the other, and that a mixed marriage was nothing out of the ordinary. This is the dowry agreement, which I haven't totally translated, but I wonder whether it does specify what religion any children coming should be brought up in. This is another example of the Catholic affinity. The letter is from Ida and Albert Murat, who escaped the fire to Beirut and had to spend a month waiting to see if their cousins were disembarking at the quay before they finally managed to get communication. She says in this letter, Mario Murat, who passed through here with his wife and children on the way to Marseille, told us that you'd been taken in by the Sisters of Charity of Bournemouth. Now that is not, that's surely a Catholic organisation. That's a better photograph. That's the age of Maria, around the age of the fire. Meanwhile, Joseph and her brother is working many hundreds of miles away in Vienna. The inscription on the back of this photograph of him, he's the one standing up on the left, says in German, "A souvenir of your time spent as an examiner during the war years." He'd probably been there since he was 18 when conscription into the Ottoman army was happening during the First World War, and of course to learn a trade. But this, they didn't know at the time, was the decision that was the beginning of the end of their Greek identity. Joseph will never return to Smyrna. He is Greek, he speaks Greek, Turkish, French too, judging from the letters. But he's now immersed for many years in the German-speaking Austro-Hungarian culture of Middle Europe. This is a letter showing that Joseph's employer, the Afenduli trading house, sent him to Budapest. And this is the refugee certificate of his sister and mother and Christina's brother, Nicholas Hagikosti. How they escaped to Athens is lost. I think it's common that refugees don't like to talk about things if it's too traumatic to recall. Perhaps the Sisters of Charity did get them a place on the ship, maybe Orthodox friends or other friends of other nationalities helped them get out. But this document shows that soon afterwards they were in Athens, where they received a letter from their cousin who had escaped to Beirut. And thanks to the Levantine Heritage Foundation, I know that Nikos was a graduate of journalism from the University of Athens, not far from here, and a family historian to boot. He was great friends with the author Nikos Karadas, whose family was also from Bournemouth and who wrote many books on Smyrna families. So this shows that they're on their way to Trieste to join up with Joseph, who is now the breadwinner of the family, because his father had died. All of them must be particularly stressed and emotionally and psychologically distraught. Nonetheless, they have some hard lessons to come to terms with: the fact that they are their friends and family, their church, their business acquaintances and clients, and of course their properties are now all beyond their reach. And they've got, luckily, they've got a new home, thanks to probably the Hagikosti family connections who, there's a long-standing Greek community in Trieste. This letter illustrates their desperate situation in 1925. It's interesting because it's from a lawyer's friend of Joseph's, advising him on a case that he's trying to seek compensation for their losses in Smyrna before the treaties make it impossible. It's interesting, it's halfway through it switches from Greek to Franco-Kyotica, which is a phonetic version of writing Greek, used by Greeks who had attended non-Greek schools, usually using the Latin alphabet, the original Greeklish. This is the first document issued in Trieste. It certifies that just a month after they arrive, after the fire, that Christina and Maria are profughi di Smyrna, which means refugees, and that they're Greek. At this time, Italy is slowly becoming very conscious and wary of non-Italians during this time. This fascism is beginning to take root. But the Greeks, as I said, have a long-standing, wealthy and influential community there, although they are only a tiny proportion of the mainly Italian city. The next identifiable weakenings of their Greek identity happen in quick succession. First is that Nikos dies at sea, is buried in Corfu, as recorded in this photo. And his friend Nikos Karakas writes in his book, Bornabas, that he died in a terrible state on board a cargo ship, returning to Trieste after a short stay in Athens. Secondly, Christina dies. A year later, in 1925, she's 56. This announcement in the local paper shows how much their lives have already been Italianized. Joseph builds a lovely tomb for her in the Greek cemetery in Trieste, and above her name he writes, in memory of his father, the family of Jean Murat, whose remains, of course, were already forever lost in the unique Bornova cemetery. Joseph then marries his long-standing Triestine girlfriend, Herminia Selip, and as you can tell from the surname, she's not Greek, but Triestine Hungarian, and a Triestine Hungarian Slovenian origin. She accompanies him on a business trip, and they get married at St. Nicholas's here in Athens in 1927. These photos were taken by my late mother-in-law, Marie, a few years ago. And I've also been very recently to the register in St. Nicholas Trieste, which contains the details of my father's and his siblings' baptisms in the Greek Orthodox tradition. And on it, Herminia is listed as being of the Greek Orthodox religion, so she had actually converted from her native Catholicism. Now, after this, there's no more documents. There's no letters. After all, family all together. There's no family ties left outside Trieste that I'm aware of. We only have the odd postcard from Vienna, Istanbul, Athens that was sent by Joseph when he's travelling on business. But these photographs tell a story in themselves about a Greek family growing up in Trieste. And Joseph dies of a heart attack during the final years of the Second World War. He's 50 years old in 1944. Another emotional announcement made in an Italian paper, local newspaper. Joseph was laid to rest next to his mother in the Greek Orthodox cemetery. My father was only 10 years old and was sent away to boarding school on Lake Garda while they tried to continue making a living importing and exporting dried foodstuffs under wartime conditions. I did try to imagine what it was like living in a minority community under Nazi occupation. But obviously the Murat family's Greek identity has been greatly weakened by so many early deaths. And this is the last document I could find that illustrates what I mean. My father's renunciation of allegiance to his previous nationality as part of his naturalisation as an Australian citizen. Now, how did that happen? After the Second World War, the Anglo-American military government kept the peace in Trieste until 1954, nearly 10 years. And the decision to cede Trieste back to Italy was not a surprising one, but nevertheless there was a lot of social unrest as a result. Italian nationalists, communists with links to Tito's Yugoslavia, and an independence movement back in Trieste being a free port, all fought and riots on the streets. I don't know where the Murat family's position on this question was, but incredibly I've read that 20,000 people took up the offer of assisted passage to Australia or Canada in 1955 from Trieste. They were mainly young men who felt their future was brighter abroad than in Trieste, and my father was 21 and had recently lost his elder brother in a road accident, decided to take up the offer too. It's a mystery when I look at these documents that they refer to his Italian passport. I cannot find any reason for him applying for an Italian passport, but I suppose he was entitled to one by virtue of him being born in Trieste. So, just to finish, I'm looking for help with my long-standing problem of identifying the Levantine origins of the Murat family. I'd always assumed there would never be any records because they would have been destroyed by the fire, but thanks to Genia Match database, I've recently found out of a cousin in America, and their family story corroborates one of the theories given to me by the Levantine Heritage Foundation friends I've made. And they may well yet to prove to be originally Persian Catholics, escaped persecution in the Middle East, or of Armenian stock, or Frankish, or even pirate stock. But thanks to this recent development, literally just months ago, my cousin in America has verified that they originally came from Santorini. So I'm confident the Levantine Heritage Foundation will be of invaluable help again to pursue this new line of inquiry. Thank you very much for listening.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you very much. And I remember when you joined the foundation, how little you knew, and how it's amazing how far you've progressed.